My name is Max, and I coordinate a project called the Tennessee Stories Project about the power of abortion storytelling here in Tennessee because of how strong the stigma is here. When I was 17, I had an abortion. It was incredibly unfortunate because it was the first time I ever had sex. The condom broke. I took Plan B too late. Just everything that could go wrong went wrong. And it was terrible. I was filled with self-hatred. I wanted to die. I was terrified. I had just graduated high school. I saw my entire future just slipping away from me because I didn't think that I could continue being pregnant for more months. I was already 9 weeks pregnant and couldn't handle it. Didn't want to be pregnant. I want to have a child someday, but I don't want to be pregnant. So I went to Planned Parenthood and they talked to me about my options, and more than that, they just made me feel better in general. They kind of took care of how much I was hating myself, all of the loathing, all of my fears, and comforted me, gave me all the possible options, helped me figure it out, financial help. Luckily, I had a really, really supportive partner, and his family helped out because when I asked my mom to help, she only had $30 in her bank account at the time, and I wasn't sure what to do. I was trying to remember what I'd read online about what drugs you could buy at the grocery store to help with that kind of thing. I was brainstorming, how do you pickpocket to try and figure out how to afford a medical procedure that I needed for my mental well-being and my health, because I knew that I needed an abortion without a doubt. For my future, for my mental health, everything like that I just said, because I couldn't stand it. I had a lot of mental health issues, and the idea of something living inside of me that I didn't want when I had worked so hard to go to college was the most terrifying thing I could imagine. So I ended up having a referral to a place that did a surgical abortion, and it was over and done with pretty quickly. I was terrified because the only thing I ever knew about abortion was Dirty Dancing with a dirty knife and a folding table. So I had no idea what to expect. I was terrified. And then when it was like tons of friendly people being really nice to me, helping me out, and a procedure that was literally like 5 minutes, it was great. It was such a relief. And I started crying when they gave me peanut butter crackers because I was like, you all are just so incredibly nice. It was beautiful. And my abortion turned me from being an apathetic person who didn't care about others, didn't care about anything, into someone who suddenly felt passionate. All of these anti-choice attacks felt personal. They felt like they were about me. All of these laws felt like they were about me. And I started to realize how many other people like me felt that way, and how even though I grew up in a progressive household and I had lots of friends who were pro-choice, I didn't feel safe talking about my abortion. I didn't know what people were going to think about me, what they were going to say. When I tried confiding in friends, really the only helpful thing they had to say was, well, you'll be smarter in the future. Which, for a very depressed 17-year-old who was hating herself, was probably the least helpful thing a person could say. So when I got to college and I saw that there were all these groups advocating for abortion access, it meant the world to me, and I put my entire self into it. And I decided to dedicate my entire life to helping others so that people don't have to feel as scared and just full of anger and sadness like I did. I wanted to provide a safe space for people to talk about their feelings, no matter what those feelings are. Because when you're scared and you try and Google on the internet, how am I going to feel about my abortion? You get, I'm going to feel so great, or I'm going to feel terrible. We don't leave a lot of room for these complicated feelings of, this is a great decision, I feel great, but I also feel like shit for having to be in that situation. So talking about my abortion is so incredibly important to me so that others can feel that they are not alone, and so that I get to reclaim the voice that I originally felt had been taken from me when I was 17.